Moving to question number 16th. This is the problem which is being taken from straight line coordinate geometry. Let PS be the median of the triangle with vertices P, which is 2, 2, Q 6, -1 and R 7, 3. The equation of the line passing through 1, -1. We have to find out the equation of the line passing through 1, -1 and parallel to PS. Note PS is the median. These are the options. Now let us see how to go about it. A very easy problem. Now this is a triangle. Point P is given to us. It is 2, 2. Point Q is 6, -1 and point R is 7, 3. S is the midpoint of Q and R. It is given PS is the median. Now what is the midpoint of Q and R? 6 plus 7 by 2, that is 13 by 2, comma -1 plus 3 by 2, that comes out to be 1. Now we have to find out the equation of the line passing through. It is given 1, -1 and parallel to PS. It is parallel to PS. So what we have to do here is we have to find out the slope of PS. Now what is slope of PS? It is equal to, here we have 2 minus 1 upon 2 minus 13 by 2. This comes out to be minus 2 by 9. So the slope of this line is minus 2 by 9, since it is passing through 1, -1. Now using 1 point slope form, that is y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1, we have y plus 1 is equal to m x minus x1. So solving this, we have 9y plus 2x plus 7 is equal to 0. So this is the solution we have. We can see from here it is option number 1, that is this is the solution. 2x plus 9y plus 7 is equal to 0. Now we are moving to question number 17. Moving to problem number 17. Now look at this problem. It has been taken from limit, and a very common question for us. It is limit x tending to 0 sine of pi cos square x upon x square. We have to evaluate this value. These are the option. It is 1 minus pi, pi or pi by 2. Let us see the solution here. It is given limit is of the function sine of pi cos square x upon x square, and variable x is actually tending to 0. When we go for any problem related to the limit, what we see first is we see the form, we check the form. If you can see here, when x is tending to 0, cos square 0 will be 1. This will be pi, and sine of pi is 0, and this is again 0. It is of the form 0 by 0, that is the undetermined form. Now we have to find out the value of this. Let us see. We can go for the standard result, but you can notice here this is not tending to 0. This is actually tending to pi. So we can't apply the direct result here. We are going to go for this manipulation. We can write this pi as 1 minus sine square x Now you can see here, this becomes sine of pi minus theta, and we know what is sine of pi minus theta. This is sine of theta. Now by making this important change, what you can see here is we can use the standard limit here. Now this is tending to 0. The angle which is inside this sine function, it is tending to 0. Now this again the form remains same, that is 0 by 0, but here you can apply the standard result. You can see here we can write this limit again as sine of pi sine square x. If we can have the same value in the denominator, you can see this form sine of fx by fx, and this fx is tending to 0 when x is tending to 0. So we can apply the standard limit here, this will be tending to 1. Now what are the remaining terms we will be having here? We will be having pi into sine square x, and 1 x square is also here for us. Now you can see this is tending to 1 and this 2 is tending to 1. We are only left with this pi. So this is the answer. You can see this is a very easy problem. Now moving to problem number 18. Problem number 18 is related to algebra. You can see here alpha and beta are the roots of this equation px square plus qx plus r equal to 0, p being non-zero. Now it is given if p, q are in AP, and again a relation between alpha and beta is given, 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta is equal to 4. We have to find out the value of difference of root, modulus of alpha minus beta. Now these are the 4 options which are given to us. Let us see the solution to this problem. Now the equation which is given to us, it is the general equation. Now all the terms are variable, p, q, r, all the coefficients are variable here. Now a relation is given between the roots, that is 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta is equal to 4. From here we can have another relation between the sum and product of root. If you take the LCM here, you can see from here that alpha plus beta is equal to 4 alpha beta. This is the relation which we will be using. Now again, what we have to find out is difference of roots, and we know this is equal to whole square of alpha plus beta minus 4 alpha beta. Now by using this relation, that is alpha plus beta is equal to 4 alpha beta, we can have 16 alpha square beta square minus 4 alpha beta. Now the important point here is we have to only find out the product of roots, that is alpha and beta. Now let us see what are the sum of root. The sum of root, that is alpha plus beta, is equal to minus q by p, and the product of roots, that is alpha into beta, from here you can see is equal to r by p. Now one more relation is given to us, that is p, q, r are in AP. So we have 2q is equal to p plus r. Now by using these relations as well as this particular relation, we will be finding out the value of alpha into beta, that is the ratio of r by p. Now if you divide these two, we have alpha plus beta upon alpha into beta, that is equal to minus q by r. Now the value of this is given to us, it is equal to 4. So q by r is equal to minus 4. Now again, by using this relation, we will be able to find out the ratio of r by p. Dividing both the sides by r, we have from here, by putting the value minus 4 here, we will be having p by r is equal to minus 9. So from here, r by p, which we know is equal to alpha into beta, is equal to minus 1 by 9. Now by putting the value of alpha into beta, we know this is the value of alpha into beta. Here we have 16 into whole square of minus 1 by 9. Here we will be having 4 into minus 1 by 9. By evaluating this, the final result we will be having 2 root 13 by 9. This is the answer. You can see it is option number 3rd, that is 2 root 13 by 9. Next, we are moving to problem number 19.